What's up? We on? I think we on. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode, the third episode of Trippin with Theobold. Trippin with Theobold, third episode, every Thursday. Got a little ring to it. It got that sound to it. Anyways, welcome to the third episode of Trippin with Theobold. I go by Andre Theobold, aka AT, aka Dre Theo. I got many monikers, right? I don't care which one you use as long as you get it right. Damn it. But anyways, now welcome to the third episode. I think I said that 3 times. But in case you're not familiar with this show, the way it works is, we got like 3 to 4 major segments. And we start off with the speech impediment joint, you know what I'm saying? Because that's something that has plagued my life for a long time. My face a little shiny right now. Yeah, I got out the shower and shit, and my face a little shiny or whatever. But we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it do what it do. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying before, I grew up with a severe speech impediment, man. My shit was bad. Don't know how I made it out. I mean, I'm not all the way out. Like, sometimes my shit be glitching up. You know what I'm saying? So hence the name Trippin with Theobold, because we trip figuratively and what's the other word? Shit. And literally, right? Going back to my English days. Yeah, so we be tripping literally and figuratively. Like literally, like sometimes I trip over my words, and I be tripping in thought. Like I got some wild ideas, I'm very unconventional, so hey, we here. So if you guys also aren't familiar, see, I kind of did it right there, right? But what I do is, like, every time I blip or have like a little glitch, I just call it out and keep moving. That's all you can do in life, because I'm not going to be up here recording shit and getting to like 38 minutes just to be like, oop, 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 oop. Oh shit, let me go back and nah, I ain't got time for that, man. I'll just own my shit and I'll just keep it moving. All right. Now, of course, every time I fucking start recording this shit, the helicopters come out, man. It don't matter what time of day. It don't matter what time of fucking day. Every fucking time, man. Nigga. I don't believe this shit. Every fucking time I sit down to record, it doesn't matter if it's morning time. It doesn't matter if it's evening. It doesn't matter if it's night. It doesn't matter if it's 3:30 in the fucking morning, man. Every time I start recording, I get the helicopter shit. I think these niggas conspiring against me, man. Like they trying to like make me not be successful and shit, Like they're trying to, yeah, they fucking with me. Like they see the light on, they see me they see the light out the window. They see my little window bright and shining and shit. They see the light of hope, and then they come in and start flying the helicopter. Whatever, we gonna talk over the helicopters, man. Y'all might not have heard that, so maybe I just sound crazy, but that shit is loud, but whatever. Anywho, so first portion of the show is the say what portion of the show. Like I said before, this is where we talk about the speech impediment shit. Just to get that off the bat, But nah, so didn't really have any major mishaps this week, Something weird happened though. I was doing a Zoom mic. And I had my earbuds in, right? And one of my earbuds stopped working. So when I was doing like my set, I could hear like the audience's, response, or the other comedian's response coming in through one ear and not the other ear. And that shit was throwing me off, man. That shit was throwing me off. Like, it was weird because I was talking and then I could hear the sound come in like randomly, and then one ear was quiet, because right now both ears are quiet, so I can focus on my voice and really just focus on saying what I want to say, But like I remember and it's an improv mic, so it's not like I'm working material. It's more like, you get an idea and then you got to kind of think on the fly. So maybe my brain processing capabilities don't work that way. Like my shit probably overloading. Like I'm processing sound, random sound coming from the comics. I gotta process my thoughts randomly on the fly. Maybe my shit don't work that way. I don't know. But I never had that kind of problem before. Like before, I always, like, if I had my earbuds in and I hear equal sound coming in, or if I hear no sound at all, I'm good. But when I got one ear in and one ear out, shit, man, you gonna get that. Ooh, 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 ooh. And that's the funny thing, man, is I can't mimic myself, man. I can't mimic what I do when I fuck up. No matter how hard I try, I just can't mimic that shit. It's like weird. It's like real subtle perturbations, if that's a word. Yeah, I think so. I learned that in my what's that? What class was that? Perturbations. I learned that in my numerical analysis class. Was it numerical analysis? Yeah, I think it was numerical analysis. But yeah, like perturbations. Like it's real subtle. Like everything is like, I can't get it. And I think part of it is fear, because like I don't want to do the impression too good to where I get stuck talking that way, nigga, shit, because I don't want to go back. So the best I can do is like the oop, 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 oop. But when the real shit happen, it's like, hey, nigga, hey, you got me. You know what I'm saying? So that's real interesting. But one thing also I noticed too is, over time, after fucking up so many times, I've learned that my brain, or like my speech mechanics, it's like a neural network, man. Over time, it's like a neural network, man. Well, my brains are neural networks, right? Because a neural network mimics a brain. But it's like my speech mechanism, or my brain, it knows when I'm gonna fuck up. It's like anti-lock brakes. You know what I'm saying? So my shit won't let me fuck up. That's why, like, I'll just hesitate. Now sometimes if I fuck up and it comes out, then it's gonna be ugly, and I haven't had one of those episodes in a long time, a long time. But it's like weird, like my shit is like an anti-lock brake system. It's like it knows like when I'm about to fuck up before I fuck up. So I'll try to say something and then everything just shuts down. And then I'll be double clutching, and I'm trying to, like, it's like trying to jump off of a cliff, right? Not like a big cliff, but like, that's a bad example, because that's like, the ending might not be good. But it's like jumping off a diving board, you know what I'm saying? Like a real high dive. People come out and they like, oh shit, this is way too, nah, that's too deep. And you go back and you think, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Nah, nigga, I'm not fucking with that. So that's kind of like what goes on in my brain or my mind, when, shit is fucking up. But I own my shit. I don't give a shit. People can laugh. People can say, they can say whatever, man. Because I've had every mean thing said to me over time. Most people have been nice about it though, but I've had some mean fucks say some mean shit to me or whatever, and fuck them. Like I didn't hurt it all, man. Right? Like I wouldn't wish this on nobody, yo. Like, and what I have is like, it's not even that bad, to be honest. There's other shit out there that's like way worse, but I do have perspective, like I know, when the average person goes through life, and everything, so I kind of did it there, right? But when everything is kind of like hunky-dory, you know what I'm saying? When everything is good and easy peasy, people take for granted the little things that they can do, So I have empathy for people that have other, like, non-conformities. Is that a word to use? Or other impedances. So you see how I did that? I kind of went, I did I paused, that was like my brain and my body saying, yeah, nigga, you about to fuck up, so we gonna shut you down. And then I had to restart, and then get through that shit. But now someone asked me an interesting question like years ago, and they were serious. And at the time, I thought it was stupid, but I was like, hey man, they don't have this shit. They don't know what it's like. Like they don't know when shit, like they don't know what it's like when your motor skills, it's not even a motor skill, it's more of a psychological slash, like, I don't know how to describe it, man. It's like the anti-lock brake shit, whatever. But anyways, I had a friend of mine, I wouldn't even say it's a friend, just an acquaintance. This motherfucker asked me, I remember this shit because it was funny, because to me I was like, nigga, that's stupid. But I was like, you know what? He doesn't know because he doesn't have this shit. But I remember I was talking, and then he just was like looking at me. And then he was like, yo, Dre, man. Yo, man, do you stutter your thoughts? And I said, what the fuck? How the fuck? And I said, oh, he doesn't have my shit. But for those of y'all that want to know, no, I don't. Like in my mind, even from day one, see, I did it there. See, even from day one, like the whole shit with this is like, I wasn't even aware I was doing it. That's the scary part, right? It's like in my mind, I was talking fine the whole time. Like I knew what proper sound was supposed to sound like. I knew what proper speech was supposed to sound like. And I thought I was doing that shit, but I wasn't. And then it was like when my attention was drawn to that, then it became like a paranoia, like, oh shit, when am I doing it? So now every sound that I make, I have to account for, and it was a growth process, but we live and we adapt, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, a lot of people don't think about that, right? I kind of did it there too, but like a lot of people don't think about that shit, Throat getting dry. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that, Like a lot of people don't. Yeah, it's like there's a conscious element to it, Like there's an element where it's like, at least for me, like I wasn't aware of my shit, And then when I was made aware, it was like, then it became more of like a paranoia, And then it was, okay, now my mind or whatever has put up these little safety mechanisms to make sure I don't fuck up too bad, So it is what it is. We get through it. That's what we do. But that's all that happened last week, man. I was at that Zoom mic, and it was weird because I was like, I was in the zone. I was doing my thing, and I only had one earbud that was working, and that shit threw me off, man. Like I think I double clutched maybe like 4 times on one thing I was saying. Like I kept going back a couple words and trying to get over the hump, and I was like, man, nigga, yeah. Like it wasn't a shitty day, but it was just like, it's like, come on, Dre, get it out, man. Shit, get that shit out. So, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Right? All you can do is just keep trying. You know what I mean? So, I either got to get these earbuds fixed, or I got to buy a new pair. Or I might just get some earplugs. I just might get, it's weird because, fuck. Because if I get earplugs, that means that the audio is going to be coming out of my computer. And even with the earplugs, I'll be able to hear like the audience responses, but I'll be able to focus on my voice. But then everyone can hear outside what the fuck I'm doing in my room. And I don't like people really knowing what the fuck I'm doing in my room like that, Or I can just get a new pair of earbuds. That wasn't it. Like my throat just got dry. But anyways, I can get another pair of earbuds and get both sound back into my ears again, and then be back on my merry way. But that's weird. I wonder if there's a setting to where, I gotta look that up. I wonder if there's a setting in Zoom to where I could like not raise the volume at which people hear me, but raise the volume in my own ears so I can hear my voice more than I hear the audience. Yeah, I gotta play around with that. I gotta play around with that. That's what I gotta do. I gotta play around. I gotta play around with that. You know, you have to learn yourself in life. That's what you gotta do. You gotta learn. You gotta learn how you work because nobody knows how you work like you. Anywho, what we got going on, man? All right. I feel like I got something going on. All right, whatever. Moving on. DFS. Let's move on to the DFS portion of the show. This is where, we try to get rich. Like, I'm trying to get rich off this DraftKings shit, man. It's gotta happen for me, man. It's gotta happen. Oh yeah, by the way, y'all see what hat I have on, right? Check out the hat, right? This is the Washington Wizards joint. It's the 3M reflector joint. I don't know if you can see the reflection or the 3M, but this shit like lights up or glows when the light hits it the right way. But anyways, man, I had to break this hat out, man, because my Wizards are on a little winning streak, man. We coming back. Playoffs, man. We might get that 8th seed and just run the tables. Shit, why not? You know what I mean? But anyways, what's going on in DFS world, man? So my prediction last week was spot on. Thank you very much. My Theobold prediction came through. All right, my Theobold prediction, if y'all go back and look at my last video, I predicted that Marvin Bagley III, aka MB Tree, was going to put up over 35 fantasy points. And he was a whopping $4,800 in DraftKings, which is cheap. So 35.6 fantasy points for $4,800. I'll take that any day. So I nailed that because I just looked at the data. I look at the data patterns. I used the what method did I use? I used the home away method. I should probably teach a course on this shit. But what I want to do too is I want to like come up with little methods and then have a method tracker for each player, right? Because some methods might work better for certain players, right? Like for example, Marvin Bagley III or MB Tree you might be able to read his data and look at the home away joint and look at the pattern from using the home away method, right? There's all types of methods, right? You got the home away method, you got the thumb method, you got the pinky method, you got the triple method. You know what I'm saying? There's all little methods, man. And I think what I do is I just apply it across the whole board flat to everyone. And each method might not apply to every player. You know what I mean? But I ain't got that kind of time. That's a lot of work to be doing that shit. Now, if it's for a milli and I have a day off, yeah, I'll fuck with it. But I don't have a day off, and most of the contests I play, I only play for chump change. So that's going to be that. But what else, man? Who was my woe of the week? Who messed me up the most last week? Let me see. Pull up my DraftKings shit. Who messed me up last week? Okay, I'm converging to getting some money. But what player messed me up the most? Let's just go with the recent. So I put $3 for I put it down for the NBA 60K and one. And let me see who messed me up. Oh yeah, I took the bait on this one. Willie Cauley-Stein, man. Willie Cauley-Stein. Last night it was Boston at Dallas. Dallas won 110-107. And I picked Willie Cauley-Stein because Kristaps was out, and the other dude was out too. Like all their centers were out. All their centers and pretty much all their forwards were out. So I was like, look, shit for $3,100 and playing time in minutes, and you know Willie Cauley Stein can go off. I'm like, hey, he might mess around and put up 50, but he only put up 12 points. So I mean, that's my woe of the week, Willie Cauley Stein, man. Come on, man, get it together, man. I didn't even watch the game. I should probably look at the. Let me see what Willie Cauley Stein did with respect to his minutes. Hope he didn't have a cardio game, man. Because look, some of these players be having cardio games, man, where they just run up and down the court for like 38, 40 minutes and don't put up no stats. I'm like, how the fuck you play 35 minutes and don't even grab a rebound, man? What's that dude's name, man? There's one dude on the Hornets last year. Well, let me stay focused. Shit, I was looking for Tuesday night game. Who was it? Here it is. Let's look at the box score. Let's go to the good old box. Let me go to Dallas. Yo, the NBA app is trash, man. They got to work on, like, yeah, this shit is not. It's just too goofy. They need to just keep it simple. ESPN shit is whatever. Let me stop complaining. Starters. Oh, they started Powell over Willie Cauley Stein. But Powell only played 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And look at this. Willie Cauley Stein played 23 minutes. He played 24 minutes. Put up 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block. Yeah, that ain't going to cut it, man. You play 24 minutes, man. There's no excuse for you not to get no damn 20. You should at least get 20 fantasy points, man. 20. Look, so he had him a cardio game. Like he could have just went on the treadmill and just ran on the treadmill for 24 minutes. He could have just ran. I'm serious. He could have just ran on the treadmill for 24 minutes and did the same thing, man. There's no excuse, man. No, like you should grab a. I mean, look, I could see even if you playing with like a superstar like Luka's gonna, do all the scoring and shit, but you should just snatch at least some rebounds, man, and get a couple blocks, something. But nah, so that was my DFS woe of the week. Willie Cauley Stein, 24 minutes, 12 fantasy points. That ain't gonna cut it. But what else we got going on in daily fantasy sports, man? So I'm trying something different this week. So, I'm not doing like the traditional money balancing thing every day, because that's a lot of work. I be analyzing all this data and putting up 25 cents to win like 50 cents here and there. That shit ain't cutting it. It's not time effective. It's not an efficient use of time. So what I'm gonna start doing is every other day I might just start messing with the tiers, because if you can't pick the tiers right, then you don't need to waste time with no other money, because you got to be able to at least tell which big dogs is going to go off and which big dogs is going to take the night off. You know what I mean? Let me get some more water right quick. There we go. But nah, like you should be able to. I think I got to focus on the tiers, man, because if you don't know how the tiers work, basically you have like 6 slots you have to fill in, and within each slot you can only pick like no more than 8. Within each slot you can only pick from no more than 8 players, right? So in tier 6, right, you might pick from 8 players, right? And then in like tier 3 you might pick from like 5 players, and then in tier 1 you're going to pick from like maybe 3 to like 4 players. And pretty much they're all like the guys that get a lot of minutes. So if you can't figure out from those who gonna go off, then you probably don't need to be messing with the chump change shit. So that's my new strategy. My new strategy moving forward is I'm gonna mess with the tiers. I'll put up $1 to $3, and I'm gonna try to get my tiers I'm trying to get my tier action going. And once I can get within like 90% confidence of picking the right tier players, then I'll probably go back and start to incorporate that into my lineup, because that saves like a lot of work, right? Like the tiers only focuses on a small subset of the maximum amount of players, you know? I said maximum amount. What did I say? Maximum amount of players, right? I got to enunciate my words. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mess with the tiers, and once I get that mastered, then I can go back and start doing the traditional shit with the money. Because I be looking at like all the players, all the lineups, and I look at all the stats, and it's just that's too much, right? I need that fast money. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and look at. Let me see what tournament they got tomorrow. So part of the thing is they don't release then they don't update the stats on Line Star until like 1:00 p.m. Eastern time, right? So when you have a tournament that you're going to get into, they're not going to give you the most up-to-date stats. But let me see what's going on with tiers on Thursday. Let me just see the $1 joint. I might do another $3 joint. Fuck it. Let me see. $3 for 7,500, $2,000 or 2,000 people. 3,000 people in the tournament. We can put in 300. Let me just see the payout structure. Yeah, I fuck with that. First place gets 750. Shit, let me see what this is about. Let me go ahead and reserve this. And then who am I gonna mess with? Let's see. Let me see. We got who's gonna be my Theobold prediction of the week? Let me see if they can put the data out. Did they update the data yet? Come on, Line Star. Hate when Line Star does that shit, because what they'll do is, you gotta keep waiting. Nah, see, they didn't put the new data out yet. Shit. So here's what we'll do. We'll keep going on with the show, and then we'll come back and then we'll come back to see if if Line Star updated their data or not. Better yet, now I'm not going to do that. Let me just go ahead and let me just do this one looking at the raw numbers. Who's going to go off? So in tier 1, yeah, no, it's not going to be Jokic. I'm not messing with Jokic. Who else we got? Definitely not messing with Giannis. Giannis is going to put up a lukewarm 40 points tomorrow. Lukewarm 44. Luka, let's see what Luka going to do. Yeah, I think Luka might put up 80 tomorrow, yo. I think he's going to go off. 80 points for Luka. Yeah. So, fuck it. We going to go with that. Tomorrow night. Mark this down. Tomorrow, the Dallas Mavericks play at Philadelphia. All right, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. West Coast time. Luka Doncic is going to put up 80 fantasy points at least. At least 80 fantasy points. That's my Theobold prediction of the week. Mark it down. Take note. All right, so let's go ahead and look at one last thing too, right? So I was also messing with the double ups in DraftKings, man. Them double ups, man. Like, see what happens in DraftKings? What they do is they have the little a little money tracker, right? Like what they'll have is it's like a little bar, and then they'll have your ball with the like the amount of time. It's like bubble, but inside of your bubble, basically, it's your number of player minutes remaining. And it'll keep ticking down, right? And if you look at the bar, right, the bar, it'll be like part of it will be gray, right, or black, and then the other part of it is white. But if you look at the double ups, the black is like maybe like almost half of the shit. So it looks like it looks real easy to double up your money, but when you try doubling up, man, that shit is just more competitive. I think it's more competitive, man. I won a couple. I didn't win. Well, I won a couple double ups because it doesn't matter if you come in first or not. It just matters if you are in the black at the end of the day, right? So, yeah, I don't fuck with double ups, man, because all you're gonna do is double the money you put in, you know. So technically speaking, it's a smaller pot, you know, or a smaller group of people playing, so you should be able to do it. But I think they all figure the same thing too, you know, and it's not as easy as it looks. So I'm only gonna mess with tiers for the most part. I might do a lineup with I might do a traditional lineup tomorrow, but Theobold prediction of the week: Luka is gonna drop 80 points tomorrow night. Not 80 points. He might do that, but 80 fantasy points is what Luka gonna drop tomorrow night. 80 fantasy points. All right, I think I said it. I think I harped on that enough. Let me go ahead and move on to the next portion of the show, which is the SIMPology section of the show, where we talk about that simp shit. The topic that women hate to talk about, man. These women hate simp talk, man. They hate simp talk. And I broke it down last video, man. But like I said before, man, they like that attention. They like free attention that they don't have to work for. That's what that shit is about. And over here, like I said, I'm not no dating coach. I'm not no alpha. But I ain't no simp. Like, I don't do that simp shit no more. Been there, done that. Find another simp. Because once you get the game and once you see how this shit work, bye. But let me see. Let's go ahead and talk about some shit with the simp shit. So this past week I had no relapses, man, when it came to simping. Like, and I think a lot of it has to do with COVID. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it has to do with COVID because everyone is just so like I think everyone is just trying to like stay safe, stay healthy. And I think a lot of people don't like fucking with a lot of people. So I think a lot of people are also using this as an excuse to like not to really fuck with people like that, you know? So like me, I'll go outside on my little walks or my little runs and I'll have my mask on and shit. And like me personally, like I just go to the other side of the street. Other people, they kind of like go like everyone is still like in this avoiding kind of space. Like everyone's trying to like avoid. I said avoid. Everyone is trying to avoid each other. What I think for the most part, you know. But now like I haven't really had any relapses because I think, you know, when you have a mask on, it's a barrier to even want to talk to somebody, right? So at the end of the day, it's like the masks are like simp impediments, you know. That's what they are, yo, because it's like if you got a mask on it and if you're not getting no choosing signals, going up to a chick and talking to a chick through a mask, nigga, that's too much work, man. Like you gotta like get her attention talking, nah, nigga. So I think a lot of simps need to be thankful for the masks that are out because now you got some hardcore simps that just don't give a fuck and they gonna go up and try to, you know, spit to a chick, you know, without no choosing signals anyway. But when you got that mask on, man, it's like people like you don't want to have to repeat yourself and your voice comes out muffled and you know, you might run up on it, you might go up on a chick and she might be paranoid or really getting COVID or might use it as an excuse and blow the whole scene up and make you look like a monster and shit. So yeah, nah. So there have been no relapses with me at all, you know. I think the only time I'll have a relapse potentially is if I go to like a family member house and there's like a new chick that come through that they bring through or whatever, you know. That's where like I might be vulnerable, but I've been pretty good, you know. I've been good for the past couple months, so I'm good. But the one thing I learned, like, because like I said before, man, like unsimping yourself is about just being observant, like it's about paying attention to yourself and learning from your past mistakes and analyzing your past mistakes, like really to all you simps out there, really go out there and analyze when you fucked up with chicks, like, and just think about why you fucked up, like, and like what, not like if you broke up with a chick. I mean, like if you hollered at a chick and it ain't work out. If you analyze that shit, you'll probably realize that you had no business talking to that chick. Not saying that she a bad chick. It's just she didn't give you no choosing signals. You know what I mean? So the one thing I noticed, like when I go out on my little walks or when I go to Target and make my little Target runs, the one thing I noticed is that a lot of women deliberately don't make eye contact with people, man. If you go, like when you go out, just watch. Like women just, they don't, like their eyes, it's weird. It's like they know what's around them and they know what not to look at. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I could like kind of, I guess compare it to something, it's like, it's like urine. It's like public bathroom urine syndrome, right? Like when you're a dude and you go to the urinal, your eyes just stay focused. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're done doing your shit, you stay focused and then you leave and then you out, right? It's like your eyes don't be wandering and shit. But females, when they go out, man, it's like they got the same thing. When they go out, they know where everything is and they know where not to look, or either like they'll either know where not to look or they'll just like look down, and if you're trying to get their attention, motherfucker, they ain't choosing you. It's that simple. You know what I mean? So I actually went outside today and like I saw this, right? Like I saw, when I saw a few chicks when they were walking or whatever, if they came around like a crowd of people, they kind of knew, like it was just real fascinating to watch, man. Like it was like they didn't mind to look in some directions or at one person, but for the most part, like if there's nothing there, their head was down, or they made sure their eyes didn't meet anyone else's eyes. And that to me is just do it, man. Just go out and just pay attention, man. You gotta be observant, man. A lot of times you just gotta fall back in the cut and just observe shit. Like my man Willie Hutch says, sometimes you just gotta slow down and calculate. I'm fucking the lyrics up. How's it go? It's from Take It Easy, right? Take it easy. Sometimes you gotta slow down and calculate things right. That's the lyric. Sometimes you gotta slow down and calculate things right. That's not how the song goes, but that's the lyric. I mean, Google it or whatever, or like pull it up. But it's a pretty deep song or pretty chill song. But now that's one thing I noticed, man. It's like real funny to me how, and that's everything too, right? With women, I feel like them giving dudes eye contact is their version of dudes hollering, So if a chick is looking at you, right, or she makes frequent eye contact, or if she makes a long and elongated eye contact with you, that's her version of her hollering. You know what I'm saying? That's her version of us hollering at them, So what else did I learn about this whole simp shit? What else can I speak on when it comes to this simp shit? Oh, yeah, I was gonna say this. And like I kind of do the same thing too when it comes to like sketchy people in the streets, right? Because I be in the city and shit walking around, and there'll be some sketchy people walking around, right? And a lot of times, like I'll have like my hands in my hoodie and shit, or in my pockets, and like if you make eye contact with somebody, that's sketchy. That could be them sizing your ass up to say, oh yeah, I can probably get this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't make eye contact and you keep your hands in your pocket, but you know that motherfucker's there, he gonna be like, yeah, nah, I might not want to try my luck because I don't know what's in his pockets. And that eye contact is like key. Like that shit is tantamount or paramount. Okay, whatever. Enough SAT words or whatever. What else? This is another thing I see too, man. So, we got all these forms of social media and shit. You know, like this. Just every time you turn around, there's like a new app coming out, right? Like you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got what else? What's the other joint? You got Snapchat, right? Then you got TikTok. You got all these little apps, right? And I only really mess with Instagram, Twitter, and that's really about it. I don't really mess with anything else, right? But in my little group chat for Instagram, dudes be putting these like pictures of like, you know, of the IG models and shit that be out there thirst trapping niggas. You know what I'm saying? And they be bad, man. Like shit, them chicks be bad. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can't for the life of me figure out, man, is like I know a lot of my friends who are either married or, you know, who are in a committed relationship, and they'll be following these IG eye candy models, man. And I don't know why they do that, because I'm like, yo, your girl can see that shit. All she got to do is go to your page or go to your IG page and look to see who you follow. And if you following all these booty meat bitches, it's like, young. It's like, me personally, I wouldn't be comfortable with that, man. That's just weird, man. Like your girl knowing that you looking at all these other chicks in your app, and it's proof, it's evidence. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll even go through and even like their photos. Like they'll like their photos, you know. And I know some dudes, man, or the young dudes will go through and they'll comment on the joint trying to get attention, putting shit down like wifey. I'm like, nah, nigga, they ain't no wife material, man. But that's just me, right? But anywho, like what I would do if I wanted to, you know, indulge in the IG candy or in the eye candy IG model, in the eye candy IG models or whatever, is I would just create a fake account and just follow a whole bunch of them little booty meat chicks or whatever, and then I wouldn't like none of their photos because I'm not trying to gas no one up. Really, I would do it and I would put it on a whole nother device. I wouldn't even have it on my phone. I would just have it so I access it on another phone, and I would just screenshot they shit. You know, because these chicks be changing up, man. What they be doing is, like, they be in their little whole phase when they're young, but then they get into their little Mother Teresa phase when they get older, you know, and then they want to go and pull all that down. No. Shit, I'm the data collector, man. Shit, I got floppy disks of shit from back, like, early 2000s, man. It's not to expose anyone. It's just, you know, shit, that's for my viewing pleasure. Shit, you put it out there for people to enjoy. So, nigga, I'm gonna enjoy it. Shit. But anywho, what I was saying was, you know, what the smart thing to do would be to, you know, like create a fake account. You know what I mean? Screenshot them joints on like a bullshit phone. And when you bored, just go through, man, just imagine if you had like hours worth of just photos you could just like scroll through and be like, man, remember the days? Man, remember them days? That's all you want. And that's not simping, because like you're not trying to raise no one's interest by doing that. Right? You're not trying to raise interest. You doing that because shit, they putting it out there for you to look at. It's nice to look at, but I ain't gotta let everyone know that I'm looking at that shit. So that's just me. So to me, I think that shit is funny. But whatever. What else we got going on, man? What else? I'm gonna talk about when it comes to this simp shit. Nah, man, but yeah, it's I don't know. I think dudes is like finally waking up, man. Like dudes are starting to finally wake up, and they're starting to be like, you know what? With society having so many options, and with everything being a consumer based or what's the word I'm looking for? or a subscription based society where shit can just get canceled, motherfuckers like, yo, it's like, why do things the traditional way? Like, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think dudes is finally waking up, and dudes just like, I'm not going to give away my energy to just random chicks for free, you know? Cause that's how, like, I was taught back in the day. It was like, oh, maybe if a chick isn't paying you any mind, maybe you got to shower her with your energy and your attention and your compliments and all that, and she'll grow to like you. Nah, nigga, that's not how that shit work. Chicks like who they like. They choose. That's the number one rule when it comes to not simping. You got to remember that rule. That rule is females choose, right? You can't make no chick like you. Now, she may grow to like you over time, but you can't do something to make a chick like you. It's the simplest lesson, but they teach that shit in kindergarten on Valentine's Day, and that's why, people with good intentions like myself, go down this path, and then we end up being the clowns or the gestures of society. You know what I'm saying? So, but I figured that shit out now. Shit. I figured that shit out. So, hey, what you gonna do? So what else we got going on, man? Let me go ahead and here's a new segment of my show. It's basically all my upcoming news and events. So whenever you guys are wondering like what's going on, and before I go on to that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Jam up the comment section. Do all that YouTube shit. You know what I mean? Do all that fun YouTube stuff that y'all do and shit. But I'm adding a new segment to my show starting now. All right, it's called it's basically just upcoming news and events. So if you want to know what's going on in the world of Andre Theobold or AT or Dre Theo, you can just hear what's going on in my world or hear what I got coming up. All right, so this Sunday, February 28th, I did a pre-recorded comedy show for Twitch. It's called Pants on Fire. All right. If you go on Instagram, put on Pants on Fire, or if you go to, I can't even talk, or if you go to my IG, right, and look at my flyer or whatever, you'll see it up there. Or yeah, if you just Google don't Google it, but if you go to IG and put in Pants on Fire, or if you go on Twitch and put in Pants on Fire, you'll see it pop up. It's we all did 15 minutes, and man, I had some jokes in there. You know what I'm saying? To me, it didn't feel like my personal best. And part of the reason was because I haven't did 15 minutes in like years. Like every time I go to a show, it's either I do 5 minutes or I'll do 7. And I have lots of material, but it's like when you do 15 minutes, it's like it's a different muscle. You know what I mean? Like doing 3 minutes versus 5 minutes versus 10 minutes versus 15 minutes. Then once you do a half hour or whatever, and you go over a half hour, like, you kind of like, that's the thing with comedy, man, or stand up is the element of time, like I've done, I would just say I performed like shows and in front of people with various amounts of time, and a 3-minute set is totally different than a 20-minute set. You know what I mean? Just the timing element, right? Because if someone says, hey, can you give me 20? You have to realize that, at least for me, everyone's different, right? Maybe people can do things differently, but with me, if I'm doing like 3 minutes, it's like a sprint. and you got to like hit everything and just get it done. Pop, 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 pop. Like everything has to pop. You know what I'm saying? But when you do like 15 to 20, it's like you can't. I don't like using the word can't, but what I've learned is when I approach a joke that I do in a 3-minute set, in a 20-minute set, and if I approach it the same way that I would a 3-minute bit, it's like you're gonna get tired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like that energy. Like, you know, it's like you gotta like spread your energy out. And then if everything you say is like funny, 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 which is, I mean, what you want to do, but what I've learned is you want to have like times when you have peaks and valleys where people are listening, right? Because good listening is, or when it's like silence is good, you know. Well, silence can be good if they're listening, right? So it's like when you take them on a journey and it oscillates, you know, those laughs, when those laughs happen, they'll be more impactful. That's what I've seen, at least, you know. But when it comes to time, what I've learned is I did this one open mic. It was at this pizza house in Iowa. And it was ran by, well, it was like, I think we did it like 3 times or whatever on a Sunday. But it was ran by this comedian named Bruce J. Hey, man, rest in peace, Bruce J, man. Bruce J was a funny motherfucker, man. I think his last name was Yuntala. Bruce Yuntala. Real funny. This motherfucker was like on some psychology shit. Like he was like a mad chemist on that stage, man. Bruce would get up there and man, he would do shit like say the word pussy for like 3 minutes, but do it in a way where there was anticipation, and he would just be fucking with people, man. And that shit was amazing, man. Or he would like say like the most mundane things. Like his shit was abstract, but it was like funny, man. Like, hey, rest in peace, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce J. But anyways, Bruce had this spot, or he knew a guy that had his pizza spot, and we did an open. We used to have open mics there, and it was maybe like 3 or 4 of us, and he would just bring his amp and his mic, and the guy that ran the pizza spot wanted comedy, you know, and he didn't care how bad it was, and if we're talking, you know, using bad language or whatever, and you got little families coming in. Like, man, there'll be these families coming in with kids like 4 years old, babies in a stroller and shit, and we up there cussing and shit, talking about whatever. And the owner was like, no, just do you, man. Hey, if they don't like it, they can get out. I'm like, nigga, how are you running a business like this, man? Like, shit, like. But that shit was funny, though. But anyways, definitely grateful for the opportunity. You know what I mean? But now what happened was Bruce would come out and bring his amp and his mic, and we would just talk for an hour. He'd just be like, look, just get into the mic and just talk for an hour. Just how like I'm doing now. But of course I would have jokes I'm trying to work out, but we would just be in there for like we would each like do an hour. And when we got stuck, he would be like, what else? What else? keep going. You know, and what I learned was when you first get up there to do an hour, it's like, and especially if you don't know what you're gonna say like that, if you're working out new bits, it's gonna seem like forever. You're gonna be like, how in the fuck am I gonna get to an hour? You know, so you get up there, you do your first little bit, people don't laugh or whatever, and then it's lonely up there. But what I learned was when you get in a groove, and when you hit like that 27, 28 minute mark, maybe even like a little after, maybe like 31-minute mark, time goes quick. Like, it's amazing, man. Like, that shit was like so fascinating to me, man. You know, that shit was fascinating just to get up there and you're talking in front of people, trying to make them laugh, and then the first 5 minutes it just seems long, but then when you get to like minute 31, it seems like that second half of that set was like 5 minutes. Now, of course, of course, everything I talked about in that hour was probably trash, but it was like just the fact that I saw how time worked in comedy, right? Like, how can people do an hour? It's, you know, if you train up to it, it's easy, right? But don't get it twisted, right? Just because you do an hour doesn't mean that you can do 20 minutes. And just because you do like, or vice versa, right? Or just because you can do 30 minutes doesn't mean you can do 3 minutes. Because I seen it where I was in a contest and there was this one headliner I know. Well, he used to feature at the club I was at, and he also headlined a few times. And once he got on the roll, that motherfucker was a monster. Like, you know, he would just ride the wave, you know. But we did this contest where the first round, everyone had to do 3 minutes. And when he did 3 minutes, he struggled because he's so used to doing, you know, a whole hour or 30 minutes, and he couldn't get in his groove quick enough. You know what I mean? So I like to look at the various times or the various time allotments of comedy, or that a comedian does on stage, like, you know, track and field, right? Like, you're not going to run a 100-meter dash the same way you're going to run an 800-meter dash, right? Or you're not going to run a 400 the same way you're going to run a 200. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't work that way. They're different beasts in and of themselves, you know? So anytime you need to just try to master it, you know? Like, of course, everyone's going to get 3-minute sets because there's so many people doing comedy or whatever. So it's like, there's not a whole lot of time going around like that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, anyways, why am I talking about that? February 28th, Pants on Fire comedy showcase. I did 15 minutes. It was a loose 15. Like I said, it was my first 15 minutes in like, shit. It was probably my first 15 in almost like a year. It has to, or maybe more than that, man. Because really, I just been doing like 7 minutes, 8 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes there, 3 minutes there. Like, you know, so if you get a chance, go check it out. Tell me what you think, you know, because I listened to my set and, you know, like, I'm very like critical of myself, and I didn't like what I did, because I know I can do way better than that. But I mean, then again, I am pretty tough on myself, you know. And then what else? Oh yeah, in March, Chocolate Sunday's comedy show, which is the premier Sunday night comedy show in Los Angeles. You know, they get like all the great comedians around the world come there, man. I am auditioning for virtual Chocolate Sundays, or the virtual Chocolate Sundays tournament. You know, it's gonna be like a bracket style tournament. Yeah, yeah. I think they said they're gonna start March 3rd. I signed up for it, or I submitted for it, you know, so I have to wait to hear back to see when I'm gonna go up, or if I'm gonna go up. But, you know, when I get my date, I'll let y'all know. Or shit, I might find out this week, and then next Wednesday will be the first one. So you might be hearing about me talking about my virtual first impression showcase next Thursday. You never know. But anywho, that's what I got coming up, you know. So we're still in this pandemic. We're still doing stuff. But like I said, I got some Zoom shows coming up. Probably I'm probably gonna do a couple. I probably got some liar showcases coming up. I probably have like I think I might have a talk with T-Lo coming up. What else? What else I got coming up? There might be a shit show coming up. So like I said, this part of my little podcast is for me to plug my own stuff, you know. So if y'all want to rock with it, rock with it. If not, all right. But what else we gonna say, man? So like I said before, man, thank y'all for tuning in to Trippin with Theobold. Make sure you guys mash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Mash up the comment section. Do all that fun stuff, man. But until next time. See, I don't have anything to close with like that. I gotta work on my final in conclusion. So I don't have any words of wisdom, you know. I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. And if you're watching it, man, keep watching it. You know, I really appreciate it. I'm out. Oh, you can follow me on all forms of social media. AT is where it's at. All right. So I got to work on ending these, man, because I feel like I kind of just fade out and then it's ta-da. All right, nah, for real though, I'm out. Peace.